Now, after 4 months of using the Pixel 8 Pro on a day-to-day basis, I have to admit that Google has taken a step back in terms of progress. Now, when I say that Google has taken a huge step back, I'm not saying that the Pixel 8 Pro is a bad phone, but the problems surrounding the Pixel 8 Pro have diminished it from being a true competitor with the Galaxy S24 Ultra and the iPhone 15 Pro Max. The Pixel 8 Pro has still not fixed its horrible game lag when it comes to power-heavy gaming. The fingerprint sensor and facial recognition still cannot keep up with the Galaxy S24 Ultra or 15 Pro Max, and the price has increased, which means that in many ways, the Pixel 8 Pro isn't even competing with the Pixel 7 Pro, because in some ways, that phone has less problems. And I think that just like the Pixel 6 Pro, Google has allowed these problems to linger for way too long, which results in the Pixel 8 Pro having much more negativity attached to it, ultimately putting it even further behind the competition that's getting praise. And despite the reputation that the Pixel 8 Pro has accumulated over the past 4 months, I still think that it's really great in some aspects, which is why I wanted to share my experience. Now, the Google Tensor G3 chip has been pretty horrible at playing power-heavy games. Like for example, here I am playing Asphalt 9 on my Pixel 8 Pro, and here's me playing it on the Galaxy S24 Ultra. And you can just see how terrible the Pixel 8 Pro looks. It's laggy, the frame rate is terrible, and I'm genuinely shocked that I'm still having this problem 4 months later. Now, looking at battery, over the past few weeks, I've tested how long the Pixel 8 Pro lasts with medium to high usage. I've tried my best not to do too much, but it was hard since I enjoy using my Pixel 8 Pro a lot. I use social media moderately, texted friends and family, made phone calls, checked emails, and watched a ton of YouTube videos, and I was able to rack up 5 to 7 hours of screen time per day. On most days, I'm getting 5 to 6, but that was pretty great in my book. I'm ending my day with about 20 to 30%, which was just enough for me to collect data on who this phone is truly for. And since I was using my phone moderately, I didn't feel the need to try to preserve battery, I didn't turn on power saving mode, and I used it to its full capacity. I was also surprised that a lot of little features within the software didn't take a huge chunk of battery. Things like the always on display, 5G, and high brightness were on, but I was still able to last a full day, which was pretty impressive for a phone of this price. And now taking a look at the build quality with how it's holding up after 4 months of use, the Pixel 8 Pro was a step up from last year. The flat display and matte back improved the overall quality of the phone. The 8 Pro is one of the most comfortable phones to hold in 2024. It has a very rounded frame that knows how to complement a hand whether it's big or small. And whether I'm holding it to watch a video or scroll through an app, it always kept that same consistency. The flat display has always been my personal favorite. The buttons are clicky and premium. The ports and mics are very discreet. And despite the fact that it's not the best phone in the market, and I still consider it to have a quality feel after 4 months of use. Now, in terms of weight and feel in hand, the Pixel 8 Pro is not heavy to the point where it's uncomfortable for a longer period of time, but it is heavy enough for you to notice it at first and get used to it after. The display has Corning Gorilla Glass Victus, and I dropped it twice since I first got it. There has been a little scratch on the display, and so far, I haven't got any major scratches or any cracks. The scratch resistance on the Pixel 8 Pro has always been questionable, but again, I think it's doing much better than the previous years. But besides that, the Pixel 8 Pro has a really good build quality that is holding up 4 months later, and I would recommend a screen protector for the scratches on the front. Now, looking at display, the Pixel 8 Pro's 6.7-inch actual display has been holding up very well, and even though I think it does need some improvements, it still can go toe-to-toe with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, not the Galaxy S24 Ultra, but the iPhone 15 Pro Max. The resolution looks amazing, the brightness has significantly improved, and it has a nice big flat display. I really enjoy doing anything on this phone, whether it was entertainment or casual phone stuff. The viewing experience is also great, and I feel like any of you guys who want to buy this phone will agree. Now, something else I loved about the Pixel 8 Pro's display is just how much I was able to use the screen. I loved how it has a tiny hole punch camera that barely gets in the way when watching videos. The option to use swipe gestures is really great as well because there are no extra buttons on my display. And again, the 6.7-inch display feels bigger than it is. The brightness is still superb. Until this day, it always shocks me because Pixels have always had the lowest brightness when compared to other smartphones. But I'm really glad that this was one of the many significant upgrades that Google has made from the Pixel 6 Pro and 7 Pro. The responsiveness on the Pixel 8 Pro is also really good. Like right here, you can see me scrolling through the OS, and it's pretty crazy how fast it is. It's also balanced out by the 120Hz refresh rate to ultimately make the scrolling feel very smooth, and I feel like this is where the Pixel is at its best, when it focuses on being incredibly smooth. The fingerprint sensor has gotten better over the past few generations. Yes, it is slower than the Galaxy S24 Ultra and 15 Pro Max, but I think that this is the first time where Google made a normal feeling fingerprint sensor, and I hope that they keep improving from there. Now, the facial recognition is the worst when compared to other phones that I've talked about. It doesn't really work well at night. It messes up more than it should, but I mainly use my fingerprints, so it does bother me a lot. Now, moving on to camera, The Pixel 8 Pro provides nothing but top tier quality photos, whether it's selfies, outside shots, and even inside shots. And as always, Pixel phones have always been really good at taking selfies. The blur is subtle but not too much, and the added lighting was just right. Inside photos didn't disappoint either. The selfies were very nice, the lighting was top tier, and these pictures were very similar to the Pixel 7 Pro, which is very good. Outside photos were the best in terms of lighting and quality, very professional, very elegant, and this is where I feel like the Pixel 8 Pro's camera truly shines. Now the videos on the Pixel 8 Pro were good but not great. My face would look weird at times, but other than that, the outer camera did its best work. The stabilization was solid, and there were plenty of options when it came to different modes that you could use. And alright you guys, that's it for my review on the Pixel 8 Pro. I feel like Google was in a great place when it came to the Pixel 6 Pro and 7 Pro, but I also feel like the Pixel 8 Pro held it back in many ways, which is why the S24 Ultra and Pro Max are superior even more than they were last year, which is why the iPhone 15 Pro Max and Galaxy S24 Ultra are superior, more than they were last year. Peace.